welcome to the Georgia Lacrosse presentation on positioning in settled situations and in transition, NFHS boys lacrosse rules, and of course we are using the rules for 2025. So where do officials go and what do they do? We're really just talking about where you're supposed to be standing and what you're supposed to be looking at, okay? The two basic positions that we're going to be talking about today are the lead and the trail official. The lead official is responsible for the goal. He's got the end line, he's got his sideline. The trail official is responsible for the goal on the other side of the field. And we will exchange positions as we go through. So the trail will become the new lead and the lead will become the new trail. And we will repeat this process over and over and over again. Big tips, you got to be in position, right? If you're in the right place and you make the wrong call, most people won't notice. But if you're in the wrong place and make the right call, a lot of people are going to disagree with you, okay? I've heard from a number of people that when you are doing some of these games and they go to review the play, be in the frame, be in the picture. If you're 60 yards away, how the hell do you know you got it right? And if you don't think everybody is recording all of these games, you have another thing coming. So if you are in position, you're going to beat the ball to the goal line, the end line, and the sidelines. You're going to try to stay one area ahead of the ball. You really want to maintain a wide triangle with your partner. Keep the ball between you and your partner, and you'll be great. If you look over the field and you're staring at your partner, one of you is in the wrong spot. Focus on your keys. What are your responsibilities? That will get you in the right spot and anticipate what's going to happen. If a team has not cleared the ball in 4 quarters, they're probably not going to clear it on their next clear. If number 4 has taken a shot every single time he gets the ball, let's not be surprised when number 4 goes to take a shot, right? Understand the game that you're in. So the lead official is responsible for the goal down on his end of the field. The lead runs. The lead needs to move. The primary responsibility is the goal in front of them. They want to stay a zone ahead of the ball. That means when the ball is crossing the midfield line, you essentially want to be crossing the defensive restraining line. Lead's going to have the initial 10 count, okay, for gaining the box. And the lead is going to count the number of players that are coming across. They've got that initial offsides. And he's got his sideline and end line. And as we say, it's a one-man game until the trail gets in position. Now, the trail official, he jogs. You don't want to be hauling ass upfield as the trail because you're the big picture guy, okay? Your primary responsibility is not the goal in front of you, it's the goal behind you. And you need to be able to get to that spot in order to officiate that play should you have a sudden change of possession and transition. You want to remain even with or even slightly behind the ball as it's moving up the field, right? Again, don't rush ahead. You have the 4 and 20 counts. You've got your sideline, end line, and the midline. And then the most important thing that the trail does, as we can see from this image right here, is the trail watches the shooter. The lead's responsibility is the goal, which means they're not watching who's shooting the ball and play that happens around that shooter. And what do defenses try to do to shooters? They try to slide to them and body check them and check with their cross. So if we've got a guy on the ground, the lead should never know why that happened, and the trail should have every detail of what just happened. I like to say that there are 4 places to be. I know there's a lot of things out here, but essentially it's 4 places on either side of the field. So let's start down here on the left-hand side with the lead official. They're right above or right below goal line extended. If you actually stood right on goal line extended and looked down the 10-yard line here, all you're staring at is an orange pipe in the goal. You can't really see the goal line. You can't really see what's happening around the crease. So usually a foot or 2 below or a foot or 2 above, right, depending upon where the ball is. And we'll get into that when we get to crease play. And you're going to move in and out. Remember, you've got to cover that near sideline. You've got to move in towards the crease when plays happening there. And you have to cover the end line. So you're going to slide to the end line and slide back up. Now, the trail position is top of the box, 5 yards in from the corner of the box and 5 yards up. So you're sort of right there by the hash marks and the 35-yard line. And in transition, you're going to need on the far side to get to the cone. You have to get to the midline because your responsibility is that initial midline offsides, right? If you are 100% sure that a team is going to clear the ball and we're going the other direction, that you're becoming the new lead official, you are then going to get down to GLE. And if play goes to the end line, you're going to go there. Now, if you are the lead official becoming the new trail, we don't really want you to go to the midline right on the sideline because, again, that's the Bermuda Triangle and you will get run over. So you kind of want to go to the midfield at the wing, okay, when you're the bench side official coming up as the trail. You have that offsides, you're going to count for... you count offense, you're going to count defense, and then you're going to slide into your position, which is once again 5 yards in from the corner of the box, 5 yards up. So 35-yard line right at the hash marks. And of course, our lead official is going to be able to head out to the sidelines and back into the crease and head down to the end line and back up depending upon how play happens. So if you are wondering, where the hell am I supposed to be? If you are the lead official, get to GLE. If you are the trail official, top of the box, 5 yards in, 5 yards up, right on the 35-yard line at the hash marks. If we are in transition and you are the trail becoming the new lead, if you're on the far sideline, get to the cone. If you're on the near sideline, get to that midfield line at the wing, right? And then we repeat the process 1,000 times a game. So let's watch this happening without players, right? So this is our direction of play. We're moving in, we're moving out. We may go to the sideline, we may slide back in, we may go to the end line, and we may slide back out. The trail is going to do the same thing. They're going to go to the sideline. They're going to slide back in. Ooh, maybe we need to go to the midline because play is going that way. We have a potential over and back situation. That's how we're moving in and out. We're always going to be dynamic. Now, if we have quick transition and we become the new lead, we got to get on our horse and go. And our trail is going to slowly come up. In this case, he's going to go to the cone and then slide into position. Right? So let's watch that in real time. So here we've got a restart. Everybody's bringing it up. The trail official is just sort of trailing behind. Lead official has released from the cone, gives the we have touched it in signal, runs all the way down to GLE, does a great job managing this end line. We know who we're awarding this shot to because White was the closest player to the ball when it went out of bounds, where it went out of bounds. So let's watch that again. So we blow it in. We've got our 20 count going. Coming up. We've got a pass. Watch that top official, the lead official, release from the cone. He gets into position. Makes a great call. All right, we got 2 officials, we got 20 guys on the field. If everybody's watching the ball, we are missing a lot of stuff. So we do not want both officials watching the same things. The on official focuses on what's happening to and around the player in possession of the ball. Most calls are going to be made by the on official, pushes, holds, slashes, trips, illegal body checks, etc. The off off officials got everybody else. And their biggest calls are going to be illegal screens, interference calls, stuff that's away from the ball, okay? What we're going to do here is we are going to divide the attack box in this far side alley into this blue color. That's the lead's area of responsibility. If it's happening in the alley or in this blue area, he is responsible for making those calls. Which means the trail has the rest of the field. Everything from the defensive restraining line to the midfield, the half of the attack box that is yellow, and then this alley on the near sideline. Okay? And so if the ball's in the blue area, the lead official has got it. And as the play moves around, you switch responsibilities. Now, if it is in an area that may be a little bit gray, I like to say that if you see the front of the player, you're the on official, and if you're looking at the back of the player, you are the off official. So in this case, right, trail is clearly the on official. That's in his area, which means the lead's got everything else, right? And you might have to have your head on a swivel to see what's going on. As we make a pass, we switch responsibilities. The lead becomes the on official, the trail becomes the off official with their head on a swivel. So let's see that.
So you'll notice the trail official in the lower left-hand side of your screen and the lead official in about the middle of your screen during settled play. So let's talk about the trail official as the ball moves around the field. Right now he's just a little lower than the wing line, and he's in what's known as the 5x5 square, just about 5 yards above the box, 5 yards in to the field or 5 yards outside the field, using the wing line as a reference point. And the trail official is right now, he's the on official, so he's watching this player. He watches the shooter all the way through, and the eyes stay on the shooter. Turning our attention to the lead official, he's off right now, but as the play comes to his side of the field, now he's the on official. Now he's dropping below goal line extended to watch the play, and now he's the off official as the ball is in the trail side of the field. So again, we're going to watch this shot and notice the different responsibility. The lead has his eyes on this shooter, but as soon as it shoots, he's got the whistle out of bounds and the signal along the end line. So now, having watched this clip, let's flip over and take a look at how we can diagram out lead and trail. Flip over and take a look at how we can diagram out lead and trail.
All right, so let's watch this again. I'm going to turn Gordon's narration over here.
So you'll notice the trail official in the lower left-hand side of your screen and the lead official in about the middle of your screen.
Trail official, now your lead official.
So let's talk about the trail official as the ball moves around the field. Right now he's just a little lower than the wing line, and he's in what's known as the 5x5 square, just about 5 yards above the box, 5 yards in to the field or 5 yards outside the field, using the wing line as a reference point. And the trail official is right now, he's the on official, so he's watching this player. He watches the shooter all the way through, and the eyes stay on the shooter. Turning our attention to the lead official, he's off right now, but as the play comes to his side of the field, now he's the on official.
Again, here we go, on-ball, off-ball stuff. So our lead official on the top right here is the on official, still the on official. The trail now becomes the on official. We pass it down, the trail remains the on official. Now we're back to the lead being the on official. Right, so again, these responsibilities just ebb and flow. It's depending upon where they are in the field, what you're looking at. So positioning of the lead. Like I said, slightly above or below GLE. The sweet spot is right around those hash marks. If you are out by the numbers, you are too far away to officiate the crease. You are not going to see somebody step in. You're not going to see whether that ball completely crossed the rear edge of the goal line. You've got to learn to work amid bodies and players. Okay, um, I do not care if there are players above me or below me on the field. I care if there are players in front of me. Okay, move in and out as play allows along GLE. So that's our sweet spot, right? And as the play comes down crashing to the crease, you want to slide in and make sure that you can officiate that play. Now you got to be dynamic because their body's in the way, right? And you've got to put yourself in the best position to get the best look at the play. But understand what teams are trying to do. In this case, sort of light green has it at X, and the guy to his left is clearly covered, and the open man is to his right, but the lead is sort of in the way. And right here is a spot that I particularly like to hang out in. It's just below GLE, where I'm literally 2 steps away from the crease, but I'm also slightly protected, and I can see what's going on. And in this particular case, the ball is below GLE, so the official should be below GLE. But you need to anticipate the next pass. So that pass is going to the open guy on his right. You can back out towards the end line and then recover and get back wider to officiate that play as the on-official, right? As the play happens, the trail's going to slide up so he can officiate the play at the top here. Now, here's a classic example of bodies in front of you as you are the lead official, right? In this case, slide a little below, or maybe even above if you want to, but looking straight ahead, you can't see anything, okay? And so getting yourself in a position to see the play is the most important thing. Positioning is everything, right? I say it over and over and over again. The lead official is the only official who can make these crease calls. So watch this player tiptoe around the crease. So he puts on a just absolutely epic fake here, brings the ball under, and is just, I mean, it's a great play, right? Trail can't help you. He's just watching the shooter to see if there's illegal contact. The lead's the only one who can make that call. And when we look at that play, that's how close he is to being in the crease. So, that's a tough call. And you can't be out by the numbers and make that call and have anybody take you seriously. Right? Lead identifies when a scoring play is going to happen here and crashes to the crease. So here you've got White, and he's making a move, he's going, and watch our official, 2-3 steps, and they're in the crease. You're right there, and you can make sure that you handle the goal, that everything's legal, that you're going to get the ball from the goalie, and you're going to make sure that nobody's talking smack or any shenanigans are going on. Okay? Here's another example of sort of good dynamic play. Watch the officials as they move in and out depending upon where the ball is. So we see our official going to the sideline at the trail position. We see our lead getting wide. Right? This is great movement on the part of these officials. So shot responsibilities, right? Lead's got the goal crease and the end line. The trail watches the shooter. The trail watches the shooter. The trail watches the shooter. If we end up with a player that just gets obliterated and you're watching the goal as the trail, you're going to be the only person in the freaking stadium that doesn't see what happened to that kid. And that can't happen. So as the trail, you have to have discipline and watch the shooter. Do not follow the ball. It's hard to do if you are a fan or a player. It's really hard to do. So you're going to have to focus on this because the trail needs to make sure that if there is contact with the shooter, that we know what happened and whether it should be a flag or not. Right? So you got to stay zeroed in on that shooter. Right? That lead's going to go to the end line, right? Run to the end line. As the shot happens, put yourself in a position. Be looking right down that end line, right? Trail can't help you. He's watching the guy that you shot. So this is the lead. Watch the lead flow to the end line on this contested play. Again, moving wide to make sure you put yourself in a position, and then you float right on back to the hash marks and our sweet spot, and we are in great position to continue to officiate this play. We're getting closer. Now we're running to the sideline because we know that's our sideline. We've got to make that out of bounds call. Now, this is uncontested, so it's pretty easy, but if there were gold jerseys running that way, that lead official would have to bust his ass out to the sideline to make sure we caught that. Um, Again, trail always watches the shooter. In this case, we've got a shot here, and maybe we've got a ricochet. That trail needs to get to the sideline to see who's going to be inbounds, closest to the ball, when and where it goes out of bounds. The lead cannot help you here. This is the perfect example, right? This lead official is going to be following the ball that has clearly gone past the goal because now he's got to officiate that end line. He cannot make this call. I don't know whether this contact is legal or illegal, right? It's a still photo. But I know the lead official can't do anything about this. He doesn't see this. The trail watches the shooter. Now, again, I've been doing this for 26 years at all levels of lacrosse. I say this in every pregame. Okay? This is something we cannot forget. So let's look at transition off a shot and save, right? Because we're talking about positioning. So we've got a save here. The lead's crashing, right? Now the lead has the 4-second count and the 20-second count. So we're going to do our flip and twirl, right? The trail becomes the new lead, and he needs to bail out of here. He's on the far side, so he's going to go to the cone. He's going to check for that initial offsides, and he will hold the midline until he's 100% sure that the ball's going to be cleared. Lead's got to stay ahead of the ball, so as the ball comes up, he's got to crash down. He wants to stay a zone ahead of the ball. So in this case, the ball is in between the midline and the defensive restraining line, and our official is below the defensive restraining line, settling into GLE. Go to your spot, then officiate the play. Okay? For football guys, it's kind of like being a wing guy on the goal line. What do you do within 5 yards? You go to the cone, and then you officiate the play from there, right? But you got to get to that line. In this case, you got to get to GLE. Now, the lead official is now the new trail official, and so he's going to slowly come up and check for secondary offsides. Once again, we don't want to get into that Bermuda Triangle, so you can hang out at the bottom of the wing, you can hang out at the cross where the wing and the midline come together. And then once we're sure that everything's good, we're counting to see if everybody's offsides. We're going to count offsides, offense first, and then we're going to count defense, and then we're going to slide into position, right? And this is what we do. Watch the new lead. He's flowing down there. We're counting. We're in the box. He just keeps running. And signal. This is a pretty classic example of the fact that in a two-man game, it's really hard to stay ahead of the ball, right? This is why on high-level games, it's three officials because you're already going to have officiating, okay? And so it is really tough to do a two-man game. Now, here's an example of positioning that is a little lackluster, shall we say. So I'll play this clip. So we're starting from a face-off here. And we do a good job. We're backing out to our sideline and the goal that we're going to. But what we do is we are counting and we're not getting ahead of the play. And suddenly we realize, oh, we've got to play at the end line here. And I'm going to stop it right here and back it up because this is clearly a double team. There could be contact from behind, but I'm not really sure. It looks like the player dives of his own volition. That doesn't look like a hit to me. But it is remarkably unclear what has happened. And again, this official may be making the right call that this should be out of bounds and be given to White, but the positioning that he has made does not give anybody any confidence that he knows what he's doing. Right? Again, and now if you miss the big hit or you make any other little mistake, you've turned to the crowd, the coaches don't have trust in you, the players don't have trust in you, and things can really start to snowball. I've been using this clip for many, many years. This is from a very long time ago. I do not know who these officials are, and again, I don't mean to call out any official. There are situations where, you've worked 4 or 5 games in a row in the same day, and your legs are killing you, and it's 110 degrees out there, and you're out of gas, or you're just caught in a position where you're in a 2-man game and you realize you're not going to get there. This is one of those examples. So here we go. We have the shot. This official is 20 yards away when he signals this. Now, I have watched this play thousands of times. I have no idea whether that was a goal or not. I have no idea. You cannot tell. I've slowed it down a million times. But This official is 20 yards away when he makes, I think, a pretty important goal call here, right? Red is incensed. White is thinking they might have gotten away with one here, and this is really tough to recover from. So let's see it again in slow motion. So obviously this is a shot, or the ball is batted and suddenly ends up in a quick transition. And this kid takes a shot from the 25-yard line. Now, our intrepid parent who has made this video is like, how can the ref make this call? The ref has to make this call. You have got to decide whether that was a goal or whether that was not a goal. Like, we can't just pretend that didn't happen. So, again, putting yourself in the best position that you can means being in shape, understanding the rules and mechanics, anticipating what is going to happen. And you do that by getting in the rule book, getting in the mechanics manual, watching these videos, working out, and working a lot of lacrosse games and watching a lot of lacrosse games, right? That will help develop your anticipation and your understanding of the game. All right, again, my name is Greg Height. I'm the GLOA lead trainer and a USA Lacrosse clinician. Please email me with any information or questions that you have. If you find a mistake, let me know. If you've got a suggestion on what I might add, please let me know. And if you've just got a rules question or want to talk something out, I'd be happy to chat with you. All right, thanks for listening.